Hey y'all, welcome back to Your Relationship with You. I'm so happy to speak with y'all again today because we are continuing on with this an update on the season that I'm in and the way that God has been speaking to me, and I'm praying that you're able to get something out of it as well, because I don't believe that this is just my season. I think that it's literally every anyone that is called to me, we're going through something similar, and there are principles that God is trying to give us, and I want to make sure that we're picking up what He putting down. You understand? So Monday, when I talked to you all, I talked about without faith it is impossible to please God, and it's very important that we understand how imperative that is, how important that is. Like, you have to believe what God says. And if you don't believe what He says, and if you don't believe who He is and what His nature is, then you'll continue. It's easy for you to drift off and go into sin or drift into disobedience and not fully receive what God has for us. You understand? So, going into today, I wanted to speak with you all about stewardship. Okay, stewardship. So once we get into agreement with God's word and His direction, right? Next is, because we have faith, right? I want y'all to track with me. Because we have faith in Him, we believe in Him. We have now come into agreement with His word. We've come into agreement with His instruction. Now is the place of stewardship. The ministry that I'm a part of, Ark Deliverance Ministries, we've been studying the life of Joseph. And Joseph has been so imperative because he is like the master steward. Like, he stewarded each season of his life appropriately, and it caused him to elevate each and every time. We meet Joseph with his family, his brothers. He's the favorite child. His dad loves him. His brothers are jealous of that. They plot to kill him. They're going to sell him off to, go into slavery with the Egyptians. But then they kind of lose him because somebody else found him in the pit that they left him in, and sold him off instead. But then we find him in Egypt, in Potiphar's house, who is the captain of the guard. And he's so good at his job. He's so good at his job that he, gets promoted over the entire household. But then his wife starts liking him, and Joseph ends up being accused of rape. So now he ends up in prison. So while he's in prison, he is still stewarding and serving at a capacity that he's even elevated in the jail, where he has free range to come and go and move about in the way that he sees fit. And it's in that space that he's introduced to members of the household of the Pharaoh, which is the king of Egypt. And through that stewarding of that relationship of operating in his gifts appropriately, at the appointed time, he's then elevated to second in command of all of Egypt. So, and we understand that all of this was done so that the Israelites would be preserved through Egypt, because if they didn't have anybody in Egypt, they would have been killed off when the famine hit. Like, they wouldn't have survived, right? So, what is my point? How you steward each season determines either your elevation or it determines your detriment, basically. Even when he got elevated, he was given instruction on how to steward the abundance that God was releasing on the earth. And had he not followed through that, again, the famine would have wiped everybody out. Do you understand? We don't know what things are connected to our season. We don't know what things God is saying, hey, this is important, because He doesn't always talk to us like that. Sometimes He's like, no, just do this every day. Just do this very thing. You may not think it's connected to anything major. You may not think it's connected to your next dollar. It's not connected to your next career. So you think, because it's so far off. Like, how is it that me serving in a prison is connected to me ruling a nation, right? Like, but Joseph didn't think that way. He was so diligent and honorable in the way that he moved that everything that he did and everything that he experienced prepared him for his final destination, prepared him to be a deliverer for his family. Okay, so we have to keep these things in mind, because if we don't steward properly, we are setting ourselves up for failure. We're setting ourselves up for we're not setting ourselves up, really, because again, we're not taking the things that are needed from one season to the next, and we're going to have to repeat the season. We're going to have to repeat the cycle, because God is so good and so loving towards us that he's not going to allow us to keep moving forward when we haven't done the thing called of us. Do you understand? He's going to equip us. Okay, so I think I'm going to touch on this again on Friday, because I really want to kind of nail down what I mean by stewarding your season well. I don't want to rush this. I want to very much take my time, and but I don't want to ramble on right now. I want to give y'all a taste of it, and then I'm going to talk to y'all more about it on Friday. You understand? So right now, what do I want you to take away? We don't know the mundane, everyday things that we're doing. We don't know how God is using that to really set us up for our future. So if we do not steward that season well, or steward those instructions or task well, then again, we are going to have to repeat it, or we're going to have the detriment, right? There are things that are connected to your destiny. There's things that's connected to your family. There's things that's connected to your children that you have to do, even though you don't see how it's connected. You understand? So start paying attention to those things if you haven't already. This season, God is calling us to pay attention to the things that we don't want to do, maybe, or the things that we don't see a significance in. He's calling us to it. If he told you to do it, do it. So I'm gonna talk to y'all more about it, because it's what's been given to me. Like I said, a part of the ministry that I'm a part of, we've been really digging into it, and it's been hitting me in a way that has never hit me before. All right, y'all. That's what I got for y'all. Y'all be blessed, be a blessing to others, and I will talk to y'all again soon. Love y'all.